With that Oscars backlash, George Clooney joining the list of stars speaking out about the lack of diversity. Director Spike Lee is here live to weigh in after ABC's Lindsay Davis brings us the latest.
This morning, pressure is mounting as more stars speak out against the lack of diversity in this year's Oscar nominations, including one of Tinseltown's biggest names, George Clooney. Telling Variety Tuesday, "I think that African Americans have a real fair point that the industry isn't representing them well enough." For the second consecutive year, all 20 nominees in the actor category are white, re-sparking the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite. Four-time Oscar host Whoopi Goldberg spoke out on Tuesday.
Why is this a conversation that we only have once a year? Because every year we get all fired up, and then the rest of the year nobody says anything.
The tension's been around for decades. Just look at this clip from the 1988 Academy Awards.
Because the way it's been going is about every 20 years we get one, so we ain't due for about 2004. So black people will not ride the caboose of society, and we will not bring up the rear anymore.
On Monday, Academy President Cheryl Boone Isaacs said she's heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion in this year's nominations.
What we all need to do now is actually take some action.
Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o added her voice to the growing chorus, saying, "It has me thinking about unconscious prejudice and what merits prestige in our culture." Along with British actor Idris Elba, who many thought deserved an Oscar nod for his role in Beast of No Nation.
Now, talent is everywhere, but opportunity isn't. We haven't done enough to nurture our diverse talent.
For Good Morning America, Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
Thanks to Lindsay for that. And Spike Lee joins us now. He's an honorary Oscar recipient, two-time Oscar nominee. Thanks for joining us
Good morning.
this morning. So you're not going to the Oscars?
I'm going to the Knicks game.
Okay.
I sold my tickets, but after I put my essay out, my wife and I decided we're not going, so I bought my tickets back. We're going. February 28th will be at the world's most famous arena.
What do you
Madison
think everybody
Square Garden. To see my beloved Orange and Blue hopefully beat the Miami Heat.
Okay,
going to the game.
We know what you're going to be doing. What should everybody else do?
Here's the thing. I have never used the word boycott. All I said was my wife, my beautiful wife, Tanya, we're not coming. That's it. Then I gave the reasons. So I've never used the word boycott. I never have said to anybody, it's like, do you? We're not coming. Not going.
But Reverend Al Sharpton and others are saying that people should boycott and watch.
That's them. Look, I love Reverend Al, you know. And we stick up for Brooklyn. But I'm not going, my wife's not going, and everybody else can do what they want to do.
Chris Rock's in kind of a tough spot. Some people saying that he should pull out.
So is President Cheryl Boone Isaacs, too.
So is she. So first off, let's start with Chris Rock. Ricky Gervais put out a tweet.
Chris Rock is a grown-ass man. He's going to do what he wants to do. And I support either way.
Either way?
Either way.
What would you do if you were him?
Look, Michael, if the guy missed the field goal, we would lost the Super Bowl. You know, you can't, there's no ifs.
So you're gonna be neutral. You're
I'm gonna be at Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Let's talk about Cheryl Boone Isaacs. And she says we need to make some real changes. She's saying she's going to take dramatic steps to change the composition.
Well,
of the Academy.
in fact, when I received my honorary Oscar at the governor's ball in November, she began that night saying this is her plan. So it's not gonna. I mean, we can't say hocus pocus, presto changeo, and the membership's going to change overnight.
The numbers are kind of amazing. 94% white, 77% male.
But here's the thing, and I like to say this. The Academy, okay, my man Michael Strahan over there again, he knows what I'm talking about. This whole Academy thing is a misdirection play.
Okay, how?
We're chasing the guy down the field, he doesn't have the ball. The other guy is high-stepping in the end zone, so it goes further than the Academy Awards. It has to go back to the gatekeepers.
Studios.
Yes, the people who had the green light vote. Have you seen Hamilton yet?
I have seen Hamilton.
You know the song, You Gotta Be in the Room?
Yeah.
We're not in the room. We are not in the room. The executive, when they had these green light meetings quarterly, where they look at the scripts, they look who's in it, and they decide what we're making, what we're not making.
How do you change that?
We can eat Michael.
What is it? Hey, Spike. What do you want me to do? Go into meetings and threaten people? I mean, I'm trying to figure this out.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm using sports references.
I got you.
But we need the Rooney Rule.
Okay.
NFL, we need a Rooney Rule. It's some type of rule.
So quota.
Yes. If the NFL, if a head coaching job opens up or a senior executive position, you cannot hire anyone to interview minority candidates. And that has increased the number of minority coaches and executives in the NFL, and that should be used.
So you got to widen the pool out.
Have to. Because we can't go to that old tired well, we can't find any qualified candidates. That's BS.
How about your own experience? You make your movies. Do you feel like you've been snubbed, like you haven't had a fair hearing?
What won Best Film 1989?
I don't know, actually.
Driving Miss Effing Daisy.
And what film did you have in 1989?
Do the Right Thing. That film's being taught in colleges, schools, no one's watching this Driving Miss Daisy now. So it also shows you that the work is what's important, because that's the stuff that's going to stand for years, not an award, not whether it be a Grammy, a Tony, or whatnot.
So even if you don't get the Oscar, there is some success, but there's still a huge problem in the whole studio system.
From top to bottom.
Spike Lee, thanks very much. You're going to be back in our next hour talking about your new Michael Jackson film. With Michael.
My man. Peace.